Well, what a year it's been for 2014. I remember the start of the year, being optimistic about the future, etc. Last October I just graduated, and I'm gonna make this video about my personal life and about what's been going on in the international news front and in the political UK front as well. And I left university. I just graduated, and I had high hopes for the future. And now I've got myself a full-time job. I was getting for a full-time job, so I just applied for anything. But like I say, has been a remarkable year for sporting achievement in the Commonwealth, and brave doctors, nurses, and medical professionals going out to Africa to fight Ebola. Well, January the 1st, you had the expansion of the Eurozone to Latvia. And it became the 80th member of the Eurozone. Not complicit with what the Eurozone had done to the Southern Mediterranean. The Latvian politicians eagerly signed up to this new currency, and they got rid of their own currency, the lek, I believe it was. And that was a sign of EU expansion. The bureaucrats, Brussels could not wait a second. So on January the 1st, they expanded into Latvia, which is all a member of the Eurozone, EU, but they, because any member of the any country that wants to be a member of the European Union has to agree to actually adopt the Eurozone as its currency. So you have to actually get rid of your currency in order to join this privileged club. February, Ebola breaks out, killing 20,000 people in West Africa. The Sochi Olympic Games begin in Russia. Also, Belgium becomes the first country to legalise euthanasia. My view on this is that assisted suicide, obviously, if you look at it, there's no point in legalising euthanasia wholly, but I believe there should be a court to judge whether that person should actually assist their husband or wife or son or whatever to commit suicide. And then you had the events of February, March, where you had Russian aggression against Ukraine, and the Russians are the loser in the long run because their economy is tanking and the ruble is on a massive slide now. Mr. Putin went all guns blazing, and we knew it was the Russians, despite Putin pretending that this was a separate force, etc. Well, it was backed by Russia, the arms were from Russia, the money was from Russia to instigate rebellion in Ukraine. All because the Ukrainians chose to look west, but also because the EU was actually wanting Ukraine to actually join their expansionist empire. So whether the Ukrainians look to the east, you've got the bloody Russian bear, and look to the west, you've got the bloody EU. Which is worse, do you reckon? And the Ukrainians were pushing the corner. I mean, all Eastern European states have suffered like this between East and West. I mean, obviously, in history, the West has always looked as a more attractive proposal than looking to the East and Russia. But now, countries like Ukraine, countries like Serbia, don't know where to put themselves. And Romania and Bulgaria have been gobbled up by the EU, and they will be forced to actually switch to the Eurozone. And the Russians in February annexed Crimea. And then March you had the missing MH370, which disappeared off the face of the Earth. In the summer, you had the growing formation of ISIS, and you had the 2014 World Cup as well. And King Juan Carlos I of Spain abdicates in favour of his son. Juan Carlos helped Spain to actually become a democracy from Francisco Franco. Francisco Franco indeed brought Juan Carlos into Spain as his successor, and expected Juan Carlos to rule as a dictator. In the lines of Franco and fascist Spain. Like Juan Carlos freed Spain from Franco's dictatorship after Franco died, obviously. But Mr. Juan Carlos has been subjected to ridicule, corruption, and also that infamous picture of him punching anything. He was president of the World Wildlife Federation, but he was suspended from this after this picture of him punching anything surfaced. In July, you had a deliberate Israeli attack on Gaza. This is further evidence that there is ethnic cleansing going on, and not just Gaza, but in the West Bank as well. The Israelis can't help themselves, and they won't stop until every single Palestinian is gay. In September, you had the war machine was going on. The United States several partners began an airstrike in Syria against ISIL. Politically in the UK, it has been amazing. UKIP have been rising, the Lib Lab Con, all of them have been suffering at the hands of UKIP, and the UKIP Fox is growing in its strength. And people across Europe, there's been a Euroscepticism has been growing, and far-right parties have been growing in Europe as well, because people are frustrated by the bureaucrats in the EU. They're frustrated that the EU is taking away their democracy. If you take away the ballot box, people have no other choice but to riot or to join far-right parties. But also anti-immigration parties have been rising too. And UKIP's rise is because people want our country back, and majority of the British people want Britain to be able to control its borders. People are attracted to UKIP for their policies of low taxation, no tax on minimum wage, to protect our vulnerable Greenbelt. Our Greenbelt has never been so vulnerable in all its history.